actually now introduce our keynote speaker tonight, Brian Ellis. Representative Brian Ellis represents the 11th Legislative District in the Pennsylvania House, and he was elected in November to serve as a member of the House Republican Leadership Team as a caucus administrator. He has also served as advisor to the YMCA Youth and Government program, where he first became interested in public service while still in high school. Please join me in welcoming Representative Ellis, an alumnus of Pennsylvania Youth and Government and tonight's speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Certainly honored to be here tonight. One thing real quick. Put on my alumni robe before we get started. Lydia asked me to, and Molly asked me to come speak tonight, and I was absolutely honored to come back before you guys because I think not too long ago, well, actually it's getting longer every year, I was sitting out there. Kind of put in perspective though, Dave John was already an advisor whenever I was still in the club, so just so you know the difference in age between David and I. But I'm happy to be here, and as Molly pointed out, I was in the club, and then certainly I had an opportunity to advise the club, and then I got elected. Then I didn't have time because we met on Wednesdays, I was always in Harrisburg, but I stayed active with the state board, and I really believe in what you guys are here for and what you're doing. And what is meant to me is immeasurable. You know, 25 years later, I'm doing what you guys will do much better than us over the next 3 days. You'll pass way more legislation than we ever do in 3 days. And so I'm excited to be part of it, and I'm excited to be here tonight. And one of the reasons I joined Youth in Government, everybody joins for different reasons, and those from the NOC delegation, and by the way, look out for Butler and NOC. They're really growing. They're going to be big clubs in the future. But one of the things I said to them is, you know, why I ran for state representative in the first place. I remember going in and telling my wife that I was going to run for state representative, and when she got done laughing, I said, no, seriously, I'm going to run for state representative. And she said, what do you know about politics? And I said, I don't really know a lot about politics, but I think I know a little bit about people. And that's one of the things that I learned from being in youth and government and working so hard with the YMCA through the years. I learned to work with others, I learned self-confidence, and most importantly, I learned problem solving. See, one of the most important things in life is the way we view problems that are out there, and is there a solution? I'll tell you a funny story. My buddy goes into the diner, and he wanted a hot dog. I mean, he could have gone to Sheetz or anywhere, but he went in the diner, wanted a hot dog, and he wanted sauerkraut. So the waitress came over, and he said, can I have a hot dog with sauerkraut? And she said, I'm sorry, we don't have hot dogs with sauerkraut. So he said, okay, well, I really wanted that. And she's like, sorry, we can't help you. So he said, all right, give me the Reuben. And she's like, oh, okay, we have a Reuben. He goes, that has sauerkraut on it, right? And she's like, yeah. He goes, okay, here's what I want. I want a hot dog and a Reuben, but if you can put the sauerkraut on the side, and then cancel the Reuben. Because he saw a solution. She didn't see a solution. And what I'm challenging you guys to do this weekend is to see the solutions that are out there. You know, one of the biggest things that we change as we get older, and I'm so jealous of all of you, A, because I'm old, but B, because you have an opportunity to decide how you're going to live the rest of your life and what you're going to be worried about and what you're going to be fearful of. Molly talked a little bit about fear. This weekend isn't about fear. This isn't about staying in a comfort zone. How many people climbed trees when they were 5 and 6 years old? How many people still climb trees now? Hands go down. Guess what? When you're 45, you're afraid to climb trees. It just happens. So you have to think about what you're afraid of. And that comes to your comfort zone. What can you be comfortable doing? This weekend, I challenge you, you can do anything you want. There's going to be dancing, and there's going to be laughing, and there's going to be fun, there's going to be people playing cards. You can do any of that. Don't change as you grow up. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm a horrible singer. Absolutely horrible. My boys will attest to that. But I still go to karaoke caucus, and I still stand up in my microphone and wail as loud as I can. I'm better in the car when I'm by myself. But I do it in public, and I'm not worried about what other people think. Life isn't about what other people think. It's about what makes you feel good and makes your friends feel good. And that's the most important thing. So don't worry about what people think. Don't buy into fear. Now I will say this, how many seniors are here this time? I like the fact that there's more everybody else than seniors, but seniors, it's your turn for the big finish. Everything needs a big finish in life. Whatever you do, wherever you go, there's always that big finish. This is your big finish. This is your last chance to get a bill passed, last chance to win the law case. But I say that what's more important than that will be helping other people. Don't worry about your own bill. It'll pass or fail. But if you can help somebody that's in 9th or 10th or 11th grade or 8th or 7th pass their bill, I guarantee you'll feel better about your big finish. Take the time to help others. You know, I spent 7 years in the House before I even passed the bill. 7 years. You guys have 3 days. So don't worry if you don't pass your bill. But do what you can. Have fun. And for those out there who like the concept of beating a bill, because that's fun too, I like that a lot in real life. What we try to do first in the real House is try to make the bad bill better. Before you just beat up on somebody's idea that they worked on all year, try to make it better. We have committees, we have amendments. Make the bill better, help other people achieve what they can. And I think if you do that, you're going to have a much better weekend. So, this is everybody's big finish. You've worked a year, you've worked all year, I want you to make it count. But I will say this, whenever I was your age, I was fortunate enough to go to a few of these, a few other conventions, and I met a guy named Mark Scherenbrock. Anybody know him? Doubt it. Any advisors ever hear of Mark Scherenbrock? No. Well, he taught me and us, the kids at the time, a great song. And if you guys will indulge me, I would love to sing it, teach it to you guys, and sing it with you. You don't have to have a great voice. It's a pretty simple song. But are there any musicians here? Yeah, I figures. Okay. That being said, it's a very simple song. Okay, it's called Boomba Hey. Okay? Some of you may have heard it before. I'm going to divide you in half because you all look talented, but I want this side to be Boomba. That's your side. This side, you're going to be Hey. And then at the end, I'll point to you and you guys will say Boomba. Let's try it. Boomba. Nice. Nice. Hey. Awesome. Awesome. You guys got it. At the end, I will go Boomba, Boomba, hey, hey, Boomba. And then I'll go, when I go like this, you bring it all up to a massive crescendo. You'll be like, Boomba! You guys will be like, hey! And then at the end, I'll silence you. And then at the end, we go, YMCA! YMCA! 3 times. YMCA. And she's wondering, why are we singing? Because this is a Boomba Hey moment. You guys will be walking down the hall, and maybe it'll be a delegate you haven't met or somebody you haven't seen, and you can go up and you can go, Boomba? They'll go, hey. So if you can bear with me on this.
From 1 to be my whole talent. Like I went to age 30 years just so he could know his
I gotta get the music out.